neighborhood associations all over town. You've been to a number of neighborhood association meetings and the partnerships. They would complain that the process of mitigating a problem, resolving a problem, is so cumbersome that at times it's not worth trying. Barking dog problems in neighborhoods, it's, the process of resolving that goes on forever and ever and ever. And the same thing with the boarded up house. It may set for 2, 3, 5 years before city officials are able to do anything constructive about it. Copper's all gone, wires out of the walls, it's essentially destroyed by vandals before the city can move on it. Would that be an interest of yours to streamline the process of city taking property away from landlords or owners if they're failing to make the improvements?
Well, that's, I think,
pretty aggressive.
Yeah, it's pretty aggressive. And that's one of the things that you certainly want to look at. Of course, what you're always hopeful of is that people will be self-policing and responsible.
And when they're not?
And when they're not, then you have to do probably more dramatic things. And that's the way that our system of government generally works. So the more self-policing and responsible you are, the fewer laws that we have. The more that people are irresponsible and not self-policing, generally then the more laws that we tend to create. And that, by the way, is part of the history of the world. And different cultures all over the world have had similar issues. The thing I think that's made America so fundamentally great, and in my view, the greatest civilization on earth, is its ability and willingness to follow the rule of law. For example, most of us, when we drive in the country and come up to a stop sign, will stop. And when there's no one else around, no one will ever see whether we stopped or not. But we know it's the right thing to do, and it's the law, and that's what we're supposed to do. And
so no rolling stops in
but these are the kind of things that you hope that people will take responsibility. And the other thing too is once there's more visibility of who owns the house and what the ordinances are, then the other thing that can happen is the peer pressure of the community, as they begin to call this person and say, hey, would you please take care of your place? And they begin to contact the city. But I will say this, part of efficient, effective government is a constant battle to streamline operations and make it more efficient and more effective, more transparent, and more accountable. And no matter what businesses I've operated or organizations I've been involved in, that is a constant struggle and something that always will need to be done.
The creative class. Except for myself in this room, there are 3 members of the creative class. People who have ideas and who are younger and more energy and who see every morning as Monday morning, time to get up and go, get to work, let's make it a better place. The creative class is often discussed as by leaders in the community under the rubric of how do we get them to move to Fort Wayne? How do we get them to stay in Fort Wayne? How would you attack that problem?
Well, part of
the best and the brightest.
Yeah, part of this whole plan in terms of the quality of life for everyone and those types of initiatives is, if you're seen as a city on the move, a city that has entrepreneurship occurring, access to capital, that businesses are being formed, developed, and grown, that there's a quality of life that's attractive, that you're a city that's going somewhere, a city on the move. That's what I would like to call it, a city on the move. You're going to attract that creative class. Because people that are in that creative class, that they want to be part of the action. They want to be a part of a city who has a lot of activity and things going on. And when you look at the 3 themes that I've talked about, which are efficient and effective government, transparency and accountability, a culture of entrepreneurship and innovation, and then a quality of life for everyone, this is a city on the move. And what I envision, Jim, in 8 years, when people are graduating from med school, or they're graduating from law school, or they're graduating from their MBA program, or they're graduating from Butler or Purdue or IU, and they're asked, where are you thinking about going to live? That they'll say Chicago, Indianapolis, and Fort Wayne, and not necessarily in that order.
Is it a city on the move or suburbs on the move?
Well, I consider the whole city.
Okay.